So before we break for lunch, when we ended the day or had our remembrance ceremony yesterday, some of you didn't have a chance to speak. So we wanted to take a short opportunity to open that back up if there was anyone who was interested in speaking today. We also have, are they in the room, sir?
No. Go ahead and start.
Okay. So if there's anyone that is interested in speaking and to continue the remembrance ceremony, if you would just please raise your hand and we'll have a microphone brought to you. And in the orange dress, you had your hand up first. So can we get a mic over here, please?
Hello. Thank you so much for all you are doing to help us all remember and appreciate. My name is Gaither Gallier Kios. I'm the maternal niece of Airman First Class Clarence Watson Wheelwright, whose nickname was Waddy. He was a gunner in the 13th Bombardment Squadron, 3rd Bombardment Group. On May 30th, 1952, Uncle Waddy, along with Lieutenant Colonel Ray Edwards Wells, who was the pilot from Pennsylvania, and First Lieutenant Robert James Ramsey, the navigator from California, departed Kusan Air Base aboard a B-26 Invader. They were targeting an enemy supply route known as Purple 2 in Mig Alley and was shot down near An Khai, a village in North Korea. It was a single plane venture at night. His remains have not come home yet, but on August 1st, 2018, an article by Young-Hung Yang in the Tennessean wrote about a Jake Wallace, a Nashville Air Force veteran who was also a light bomber who flew at night with my Uncle Waddy. They had grabbed a beer right before my Uncle Waddy departed and worked together debriefing intelligence of missions when they would come back. He spent the next years of his life trying to bring home his buddy's remains. This was in 2018. He was interviewed. If anyone knows of Jake Wallace, I would love to thank him for his commitment and be able to talk to him about my uncle, who I never met because he died 3 years before I was born. But I hold him in my heart, and as a child, remember having nightmares, thinking he had amnesia and couldn't remember how to get home. So I'm here following my mom's footsteps of trying to bring his remains home and have him reunite with our family. So thank you all very much, and best wishes to everyone here for all the work you are doing to help all of us.
Thank you.
You are familiar with this name. Young Private First Class Roland Bowser was one of 8. 20 years old, New Kensington, Pennsylvania. Lost his life in the Korean War. We also shared with you this picture of his sister and his brother being part of the Revisit Korea program. That's them that you see there, having visited Seoul to see firsthand the appreciation of the South Korean government. You also know that that appreciation is something that many of you have experienced. I would also note for you, just like you are here, that family, sister, brother, were in seats that you shared not too long ago. That's a picture from yesterday. That's a picture of that same brother and sister, Paul and Margie, at Arlington National Cemetery yesterday at 3 p.m. This is that sister. Margie, welcome.
This is so overwhelming to me. We just came with my family from the War Memorial. Some of them had not been there, and we wanted to see the wall. But yes, I was in your seat not very long ago, and I hope I represent hope to you, because this has been quite a journey. Brenda, I'm seeing a few people. If you're here from the 2019 Revisit program, please find me. God has been in the midst of all these details, and we've had so many special connections. I do not have a prepared speech. I do not, which surprises my family. But I remember the very first meeting we went to was in 2004. The family or the government had just learned where we were in 2003. So I understand that remains were being found much before then. So our first descent with the Bowser family was in 2004 at one of these meetings. And then we've tried to go to as many as we could. Some of them, we went to Louisville, and Birmingham, I think, was the last one we went to. And I was so nervous to have to stand, but it's like, this is my opportunity to stand and talk about my brother. And so thank you for sharing. Even if your heart's beating out of your chest, this is your chance to share about your loved one that passed away wherever, whichever war or whatever. So I started doing that, and this trip in 2019 was a trip of a lifetime. Paul and I still talk about it and are so blessed to share those memories together. Paul will be 89 this fall. So what a gift for him especially. I did not know my brother. My brother left when I was 2 years old. So I have been learning about my brother. I just want to share what an awesome experience we've had. Even yesterday, I was able to give a hug to the anthropologist that is the one who handled my brother's remains the last time. That was a very special hug, and we both had tears. We've had a lot of tears. It's been an up and down journey, but please have hope. And I also want to be very sensitive to the people that may never find their family again. I know that there's some been lost at sea or other places, and my heart goes out to you. Even on our brochure with Roland's program yesterday, one of my last lines was, please continue to remember these families who have been grieving and may never find out, but you never know. You never know. So what else could I share? Anything
Beautiful.
Else? Thank you. Thank you.
They celebrate with you. So we've used the word providential before. Providentially, Margie, who is an advocate for this mission and for never forgetting our service members that have remained missing, the Gold Star families that grieve, was ready to speak to the Tennessee State Legislature about her brother about this mission, Gold Star families. 3 hours before that address, she received the call from Army casualty to say Roland is coming home.
Yeah, I was a mess. Thank you.
Okay, do we have anyone else right here in the front?
Well, I just want to thank everyone here. The first time I went to a meeting was in 1998, and I went with my sister. And it was the first time we'd been around the Air Force and the military since I was 2 years old when my father was missing in Korea. And we were welcomed back into the Air Force family. And it was nothing that I ever knew I missed. And the warmth and the caring was just palpable, as it is today here. I think that anyone who's lost someone, the tears are always just right there, and you don't even know it. So here they are again, after these years. That day, we were handed a piece of paper that told us all about our father. My mother had never talked about him. There was so much pain. And we also found out that 12 days before in Russia, they had discovered information about our father and had found his, the accident. It was a big accident. They found that the numbers of his machine gun, and over the years we found out pretty much what happened. And on the 50th anniversary, we sat with the Russian admiral and the lieutenant. We met them, who'd been looking into our father for quite some time, and it was such a moving experience. So I've discovered that these tears are, we hear the word closure, and that's something that's not going to happen for a lot of us. There was so much anger in 1997. I'm really struck by how much kindness and love there is now, and not those angers that people were expressing about, we have to know, you have to do, and so much I feel has been done. And as far as closure, we probably will never have closure. And I really believe that it's like all these tears and all this openness. It's like the openness that is what we all need, as opposed to the closure. So I'm grateful, I'm deeply grateful for all the work that's being done and all the caring, all the compassion, and for all of us and all of our suffering and wounds, how we spread out and touch everybody in the world with war. My father went from being a hero to, I was so anti-Vietnam War that he was not in my heart. He was not a hero for a long time. He went to being a hero again through the gift that this is. So thank you, all of us, for all of our big hearts.
Thank you. We have time for just one or two very short. We have to be out of here at 10 minutes till, so we've got about 5 minutes. Over here.
Hello, my name's Cecilia Torres. I'm here on behalf of my grandparents, Francis and David Velasco. Unfortunately, they have passed recently, and so I'm here to represent them to find my grandfather's brother, Sergeant Frank Ayala Velasco, who was part of A Company, 1st Battalion, 32nd Infantry Regiment, 7th Infantry Division, and he went missing on December 2nd, 1950 during the Battle of the Chosin Reservoir during the forced withdrawal. Unfortunately, many on his team were lost and captured during the moving battle, but my Uncle Frank's location is still unknown to this day. My grandfather was 6 years old at the time when his brother was lost, and he would tell me that he actually remembered his mother waking up crying the morning they got the telegram because she had had a dream that one of her sons had passed. That there was an ice cream man going down the street, and when she tried to buy ice cream from him, he told him, "No, this is reserved for someone else, so I'm sending it to the Lord. I can't give it to you." And she begged and begged, saying, "No, I want to buy the ice cream." He said, "No, it's for someone else. I'll give it to them. I'll give it to the Lord to give it to them." And she woke up crying that morning, and that afternoon is when they got the telegram with the MIA notice. My grandfather afterwards would help his mother by grabbing all the local newspapers, and if there was any news on any soldiers returning within an hour radius of their house, they would drive over to the house and ask the soldiers that returned with a photo saying, "Have you seen my son? His name is Frank. He was in this regiment. Please, do you have any news on him? Do you know who he is?" And they were often met with an answer, we don't know. We've never met him. So they weren't able to get information that way. I know that a lot of us are here for the first time or have been coming for a while, but myself, my grandpa has been taking me to these meetings since I was 8 years old. He told me from the start that he didn't think he would be around to see his brother returned, so he wanted to go ahead and train me to essentially take the reins over from him when he passed. Unfortunately, like I said, my grandpa passed away 3 years ago, and then my grandmother passed the year right after. So now I'm coming to these events solo, still trying to find my grandfather's lost brother. And I guess this just goes to earlier points that were said, that it's very important to keep the younger generation informed on what's happening, keep the stories alive. And while my grandfather was very good at writing everything he remembered down, so I have his exact words for how he remembers stuff, it's still important just to tell the stories and inform them, because if they don't know, they can't come around to care if they don't know the story. And if they don't have the information now, I mean, hopefully everyone can have their relative come back while they're still here, but once you're gone, we can't get that story from you. So it's important to get every single detail. But yes, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to have to now take our break for lunch. If you could be back in your seats at 1:20. And I know there's still some that would like to speak, so we will try to fit some time in this afternoon so that everyone that wants to has an opportunity. Thank you.